You know that jump rope you probably haven't touched since you were a kid? Ever wonder if it's actually, a real workout tool? Well, we're going to dive into a pretty cool scientific study that puts that exact question to the test. So, what's the verdict? Is this thing just a playground toy, or is it secretly one of the best, most accessible fitness tools out there? That's exactly what a team of researchers set out to discover. And honestly, the results? They're pretty surprising. Yeah, it might feel like a total blast from the past, right? But believe it or not, the humble jump rope is making a massive comeback. People are starting to realize it's an absolute powerhouse for building endurance, coordination, and even strength. And here's the crazy part. This isn't some newfangled idea. Experts have been calling the jump rope one of the most complete exercises out there for years. But you never really see it as part of a formal fitness program, do you? And that's exactly the gap this study wanted to fill. Okay, so how do you actually, scientifically, test something like jumping rope? Well, you've got to design a proper controlled experiment. Let's break down exactly how they did it. All right, so the researchers grabbed 52 university students and split them into two groups. For 8 straight weeks, one group, we'll call them the experimental group, added jumping rope to their routine. The other group, the control group, they just stuck to their normal cardio workouts. The whole point was to see what difference just the rope could make. And listen, this wasn't just, hey, go jump around for a bit. No way. The jump rope group had a really structured 10-minute program they did just once a week. They started out easy with simple alternate skipping, and then week by week they built up to longer, more complex sets. It was all about that slow, deliberate increase in intensity. So before they started and right after the 8 weeks were up, the scientists took some really specific measurements. They wanted to see what, if anything, actually changed. And they were looking at 2 main things: how good their cardio fitness was and their raw muscle strength. To check on heart health, they used this thing called the Rough Year Index. It's actually a pretty simple test. You do 30 squats in 45 seconds, and then they measure how fast your heart rate gets back to normal. Now, here's the key thing to remember. A lower score is better. It means your heart is working more efficiently and you're in better shape. And for muscle power, they tested what's called isometric strength. All that really means is pure force, like how hard can you push or pull without actually moving. They used a special device to measure the max force the students could create with their arms and their legs. Super straightforward. A bigger number means you're stronger. Simple as that. Okay, now we get to the good stuff, the results. After 8 weeks, and remember, we're talking about just 10 minutes of jumping rope once a week, what did the numbers actually say? So the most jaw-dropping result was this one single number, 1.026. That was the effect size for how much stronger the jump rope group's right leg got. So what on earth does that number actually mean? Well, it means the change wasn't just some tiny, noticeable blip. It was huge. To put it in science terms, any effect size over 0.8 is considered large. So hitting over 1.0, that's basically the data screaming at you that jumping rope had a seriously powerful and meaningful impact on building leg strength. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. Just look at the bar for the experimental group, the ones who were jumping rope. It's a massive spike in leg strength. Now look over at the control group. Pretty much nothing, right? The difference is just crystal clear. But wait, it wasn't just about the legs. The study found a big effect on upper body strength too, which makes sense, right? Your arms, your shoulders, they were working the whole time to keep that rope spinning. So yeah, the jump rope group saw some serious gains there too, while the control group, again, stayed pretty much flat. So what about their hearts, their cardio fitness? Well, the jump rope group's average Rough Year Index score actually went down. And as we said, a lower score is exactly what you want to see. It's proof that their hearts got way more efficient at recovering after a workout. All right, let's pull up the final scorecard. This table basically summarizes everything. You can see it right there. A very large effect for right leg strength, large effects for the left leg and both arms, and even a small but still totally positive effect for their cardio fitness. The bottom line here is just undeniable. The jump rope flat out worked. So all this science is cool, but what does it actually mean for you and me? Let's get into the practical side of things. So why is it so effective? Well, the study points to a combination of things. You've got that explosive jumping, that's the plyometric part, but you also have to maintain rhythm and coordinate your whole body. It's this unique mix that fires up your muscles and your brain at the same time, building both strength and heart health all at once. But honestly, the most mind-blowing part of all this? The efficiency. Just think about it. All of these major, measurable improvements came from just 10, minutes a week. That is an absolutely incredible return on your investment of time. Which really just brings us back to the big question, doesn't it? When you think about how cheap it is, how you can take it anywhere, and now that we have scientific proof of how ridiculously effective it is, maybe it really is time to pick up that jump rope again.